Hey guys, welcome back to the vlog. I am back from my trip from Singapore and Hong Kong, which was one of the most eye-opening trips I've had in a long time. So we went to first Singapore. We attended something called the Gorilla Business Intensive, which I have the workbook here. I've taken a whole bunch of notes here, and it was really good to attend this because this was a 4-day workshop, 12-hour days, which was pretty intense, but I learned a lot. And the things I learned were the business fundamentals around marketing, copywriting, and negotiation. So it was really cool to be a part of an event that I got to learn from a lot of people from around the world, especially a lot of Filipinos. So shout out to the Filipinos I met on my trip. And thank you so much, Betty. She's a friend and also one of my clients. We also filmed Equip's new brand video, which will be coming out very soon. So I met a lot of people from around the world, and I got a whole bunch of contacts, which I'm going to be reaching out because they replied to what one of my requests were. I was looking for founders that want to grow their personal brand. Now, that direction has been great because I've learned a lot of skills in coaching and communication. But I feel now that before that we were scaling the story sale system, which is the monthly content retainer for coaches, consultants, and service-based businesses, right? But I feel like now the market is shifting slightly. I feel like coaching is going to be a much harder niche to be working with, specifically because of the power of AI and how people are getting a lot more information purely from that. So they're paying for the implementation rather than the actual information that they're getting from these coaches. So I feel like there's this turning point right now within who we're wanting to align with and work with. So now we're going back to the story sale system with meta ads, and I'm going to be looking for a new niche. And that new niche is probably going to be something in the property market, specifically buyers agents. So we work with Kieran from Prada Property, and we've delivered incredible results with Kieran. We've been able to, in the first 2 months, we've been able to help him close $44,000 worth of deals. And then the month after, he closed another deal, which is an extra $22,000. And now that's just from 3 shoots alone, 3 months worth of content. So I thought to myself, I don't see anyone in the Perth market working with buyer's agents specifically. Now, I understand buyer's agents, they sell a high ticket service. And also the story sale system is something that helps them solve the problem of being trusted and being positioned as the authority and the obvious choice in the market. So what I thought to myself, maybe I can use Manus to do a bit of a deep research. And I've just done this, and what we found was I was correct in saying that coaches are going to be it's going to be a harder market to help and approach because it's just going to be even harder for them to generate business. Now, I did a bit of a deep research on buyer's agents in Perth. And right now, you probably understand that the Perth property market is the hottest market in Australia right now. I've got people that have bought houses years back for $400,000, and now they're worth $1 million, which is insane. So I think right now, buyer's agents is going to be our new niche that we're going to be working with. So we're going to be currently repivoting from broad to now niche. Now, I know the saying, the riches are in the niches, or if you're American, the riches are in the niches. So we're going to take a calculated decision here to work and market and position ourselves as the experts in helping buyers agents in Perth. So we're going to see how this works. We've got 1 so far. I'm going to be reaching out to some more. So if you guys know any other buyers agents out there that do need to build leads and qualified booked appointments, then please let us know. We're going to be working with them and helping them generate those leads. So Manus with the AI, not even software, but Manus AI, it is the best tool for deep research. So I've decided to dedicate at least an hour to figure out this niche. And I think the hardest thing in business is, other than creating an offer, is like figuring out who your ideal client is, and niching down, because there's a lot of fear around niching down. But if we can niche down correctly, that's where we can grow the business and create more impact. So I've done a whole bunch of research here on the ideal client, and I've just asked Manus some questions, understanding the Perth property market, the niches, and here are some potential other niches that have scored pretty high with the filters that I've added to that. So they've got specialist mining and resources recruitment firms, pretty high. Custom home builders, it's high. Cosmetic medicine clinics, high. Commercial and business insurance brokers, high as well. The Perth resources ecosystem advantage, your secret moat. This is the biggest strategic insight in your agency. Okay, a mining professional earns 200K plus, uses a specialist mining recruiter to get their job, uses a buyer's agent to find a Perth property. Okay, cool. Business owner is perfect for $4,000 or $5,000 a month. Okay. Phase 1, owned buyer's agents and mortgage brokers. Phase 2, expand into specialist mining recruitment. That's wealth. Phase 3, scale to custom builders, commercial finance, and advisory accountants. Cool, this looks great. So it's super important to understand your niche. If you don't have a niche and you're going broad, you will never attract anyone. And that's what I'm finding. Before we were doing coaches, consultants, and service businesses, we attracted a lot of those, but the quality of leads weren't as high or as good. I think in order to solve that, you got to niche down, you got to have the right messaging, you got to figure out exactly what are the pain points of these agents, and then use that in your messaging and marketing, and figure out a way to put your content in front of these people. Because I think once you do that, that's when you can start to close the leads. So from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create scripts to attract Perth buyers agents. Now from there, what we're going to do is we're going to film upstairs, and we're going to be talking about the proof that we've created results for Prada property. And then from there, I'm going to deliver them in front of camera, and I'm going to show you guys exactly the behind the scenes of what that looks like and how I deliver the message. This is one of the things that a lot of people miss out when they're speaking to camera. What happens is they read the words and they read the teleprompter, but they don't understand tonality, pauses, and the cadence and rhythm of when they speak. So it feels like they're reading, when what you want to do is you want to be connecting with your ideal client through the lens, because when you do that, you build the trust and authority. Just like I'm doing right now. It feels like I'm having a chat to you guys. I'm not trying to overthink anything. I'm just speaking from what I'm thinking and feeling, and it feels way more authentic that way. So I think a skill like this can be developed over time. You don't need to be, a world-class communicator. You just got to have that comfortability in front of camera and envision that you're speaking to your ideal client through the lens. Okay, so this is where I'm going to be seated when we're going to be doing the VSL and the 5 meta ads that we're going to be filming. So I chose this spot specifically because I'm going to show you guys the wide shot first. We've got a backlight there coming from the window. From here, this window, we have a key light. And then also there's another window there that produces a bit of light as well for the background as well. So you'll be able to see exactly how the lighting looks like, the setup, and why this is one of the most aesthetically pleasing lighting setups. Now, what I use is the newer teleprompter, and we use the iPad here. So we connect this. We use the information from Manus and all the documents. Then we put those into Claude, and with Claude, we used Claude to write out the scripts for the VSL and the 5 ads. Now, the reason why I do Manus and then Claude is because Manus is great in deep research. So as you saw before, Manus was used to generate the, I'm gonna have this. Manus was used to generate the documents and information to find our ideal client and the niche. And then from there, with that document, I put that into Claude. And then with Claude, I asked it to write the VSL and the ads with my style of writing and speaking and communicating. So it's important to understand this process so that when you speak on camera, it is authentic and it also does feel like you, because you don't want a separation of when people see you online versus when they meet you in person. If that is different, then trust is lost, and that is not what you want. So what I'm going to do now is set up the tripod. Now, I'm going to have this tripod pretty much slightly lower to where my eye line is, because what's going to happen is the teleprompter is going to be placed here, so the camera ends up being almost eye level, and the camera is going to be put over where that other camera is, and we will be recording. And I want the camera slightly just under eye level, so it's slightly tilted up towards me, because I want to be positioned as the expert and authority that I am. So it's important to understand these nuances when it comes to videography and framing, intentionally using the camera, with the lens choices and the angle and the audio and everything, to be able to be intentional with what you're trying to achieve with the content. So I'm just going to zoom in to that area, and you'll be able to see what that lighting looks like. And how good is lighting, right? You got real nice backlight here. You got a nice key light. It's nice and soft. The sun is actually bouncing off this white wall that's like right in front of me. So I'm getting this really nice contrast of like 2 different light sources that's happening. So I'm blessed and I'm grateful that I live in a house that has really nice natural lighting, and there's a certain moment or certain time in the day that is the perfect lighting. So it's around the between the 2 to 4 p.m. mark. I try and capture this moment for content. Now, the reason why I choose natural light over artificial light for this sort of VSL is I want that natural feel. I want the organic feel. I don't want it to be too overly produced in terms of lighting. I want it to feel natural. I want it to feel like people are, sitting in the same place and same space as I am, which is my home. It's really important to understand the feel that you're going for, because if you don't execute on that, then you're never going to make the viewer feel anything. And I think if you can make the viewer feel something with the right intention, then that is where you can really connect with them on that deeper level. And that helps a lot with brand building, especially personal brands. Okay, so let's do this. This is a really good teleprompter. So right now, we're going to swap out this camera, which is the Sony FX3, and I'm going to place what you're seeing onto the A7 IV, so you can see it from that angle. If you are a property professional in Perth and you have ever posted on Instagram, watched it get a few likes from other agents, and then watched it generate exactly 0 inquiries, this video is going to change how you think about content forever. My name is Marcelo. I run Marcelo Productions, Perth's video agency for property professionals. The same system we used to generate $66,000 in new business for a Perth buyer's agency in just 90 days. Same root problem. You are relying on other people to decide when you get to grow. Now here's the part nobody wants to say out loud. Starting from 0 with high overheads and a quiet phone. Meanwhile, look at who is winning attention right now. It's often not the most experienced agent, it's the most visible one. A younger agent, half your track record, is winning listings in your suburb, simply because the vendor sees them every single day on their phone. In 2026, visibility beats ability. So that was take 1. I'm pretty happy with that. The light's dropping, so I'm just going to use that take and just run that. Usually, if I had a bit more time, I would just do like 2 or 3 takes, but I'm happy with that. And I just want to double check that the framing was good. Looks good, looks good. Yep, happy with that. Very happy with that. Just making sure. Yeah, it's all good. All right. Now, quick break, drink of water, and then I'll film the other 5 Instagram ads that we need to be putting up shortly. Okay. It's rolling. Okay, reel number 1. If you're a buyer's agent in Perth, your referral network is the most dangerous thing in your business, and the hot market is hiding it. All right, script to the invisible expert. You can be the best agent in Perth, but if you're invisible on social media, you are losing appraisals before the vendor even picks up their phone. Script 3. If you're a property manager getting beaten down to 6%, it's not because your competitor is cheaper. It's because landlords can't see why you're worth more. All right, done. So yes, that is the process of what it looks like to create ads, film, and now we send it off to the team to edit. If you have any single question about the ideation process, filming, what gear I use, let me know. My DMs are always open. If you do need help with any content creation for lead generation, please let me know. I'm really excited for this new pivot towards property professionals. I think that's the new niche now. So yeah, very excited. I'm going to go update the team now of the new direction. And yeah, we will see you in the next vlog. Thanks for watching, guys.